In the next panel, we will discuss new internet culture, from JPEGs to virtual fashion, with a very lovely lady. She knows a lot about fashion and cosmetic. Here is the lovely Diana zur Löwen.
Hi.
Hi, Diana.
Thank you. So, welcome. Okay, I think we're ready. It's a pleasure for me to be hosting this panel. So we will be talking about investing in the new internet culture. So we will be talking a lot about NFTs. Who of you is owning an NFT? Okay, so you all know what we're going to be talking about. So especially in the last summer, NFTs were the most hyped word, I feel. Everyone was trying to get to know the NFT world. A lot of people were making a lot of money. Lots of people lost a lot of money. And we're going to also be talking about the future of all of this. But I'm joined with really nice people here on stage, and it'd be really nice of you to introduce yourself first. So Florian, do you want to start?
Hello, my name is Florian. I think I started in the crypto ecosystem since 2016 and transitioned to NFTs in late 2020. And in my real life, I studied physics and I run an e-commerce company. And at the end of 2020, my team in the e-commerce company basically had all the operational tasks handled. So I had a lot of time, and that's why I dove headfirst into the Web3 ecosystem. And right now I work there full time, and I've started a Web3 fund, which sounds very similar to Vicktoria's Web3 fund. So maybe I need to think of a rebranding. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Thanks. My name is Vicktoria. I'm the co-founder of the W3 Fund and the W3 Vision, which is basically this weird place over there. And we're investing in virtual assets such as NFTs, but also in pre-seed and seed rounds of Web3 startups. So basically, the topic, investing in the new internet culture, which is our hypothesis for Web3.
Hi, my name is Roman, and I'm actually into the VR, AR space professionally for more than 8 years. And this is why NFTs, digital art, combination between digital assets and blockchain was the evolvement that was very logical for me. This is why I dove directly into it. Spent a lot of nights with research, and I came across a couple of friends. We founded about 9 months ago also an investment fund, Among Capital, and we invest in digital art, NFTs, and PFPs.
Yeah, hi. First of all, I'm very happy to be here. Thanks for having me. People know me as Thanh, and my real life name is NFT Alive. No, I guess it's the other way around. As you can see, I'm an ape. And yeah, I would say I'm a lucky ape. So I was an early adopter of this whole collection. So minting them. And for those people who don't know what minting means, this is when you can get into a collection with the entrance price, and this is normally a fixed price. And at that time, this was at $280, so pretty cool how the development goes. And yeah, on the other side, I'm a technical NFT consultant, so helping enterprises jump into the Web3 world, challenging their ideas, and then of course helping them to implement everything, because a lot of companies are still struggling when we talk about how to handle the whole crypto thing, the whole taxing. And yeah, to say it short, we take care of the messy things.
So now I'd like to know a little bit more about your first NFT project that made you decide to invest into this. So I think, Roman, you have like a CryptoPunk. Can you tell us a little bit more about why you decided to invest in this project?
Yeah, I'm very lucky because I have a very smart wife. This is the most important message. Like, this is the alpha. If you take one alpha, have a very smart and passionate partner that supports you. And because I was all the time into VR and AR and the cool technology, I was talking about 2 years at home, day and night. This is the next evolution. This is the next big thing. NFTs, digital art, combination with blockchain. And one day, like my wife told me, okay, stop talking about it, invest. Let's buy one. And of course, for me at this time, CryptoPunks was like the holy grail, still is. And we just decided, okay, part of the stock portfolio going to be sold, and we invest as a family into NFTs. And this is why I bought this one, and because I'm fully dedicated to VR and AR, and this punk has a beard. This is my forever punk. This represents me in the company.
And Florian, how did you find out about the CryptoPunks, and what was your first NFT investment?
So I think my first serious NFT investment was my CryptoPunk as well. And I have a very easy framework to invest into new asset classes. And it's when I decide that the asset class is worth investing in, I try to find gold and silver. And for me, gold is, in commodities, gold is gold. In cryptocurrencies, gold is Bitcoin. In stocks, gold are the blue chip companies or index of the S&P 500. And I was on the search of gold in NFT land. And for me, CryptoPunks represented gold because my thesis was when the NFT technology and the concept of digital assets become a household name in 10 years, and for everybody it's like selbstverständlich that you own digital assets, then my thesis is that the first real and notable digital asset will accrue a lot of value. So that's why I bought the punk.
Vicktoria, you're also sourcing interesting NFT projects for the Web3 Fund. How do you find out about all these projects? How can you be really, really early? And how do you find out if a project is really valuable or maybe scam?
I wouldn't really say that we're early. I think the most significant project we invested in was the Clone X project, which is basically the project coming out from Artifact and Nike. So Artifact is the company that Nike acquired after the drop. But we usually invest in NFT projects that already minted. So we don't really mint because we want to check out whether the project is a scam or not, and also if it's valuable after the mint as well, and people are not flipping it. So we were lucky enough with the Clone X project because of well, for us it was a little bit different. So we didn't invest in CryptoPunks because we were very early, but rather we were lucky enough to spend a lot of time in discovering the tech, discovering everything, what Web3 could mean, and in summer 2021 it was very easy to follow up on many, many projects and learn from that. And once we got the capital from our partners, basically, we went all in Clone X, which was basically our biggest investment and also our most successful investment, I would say. So it's definitely a little bit different than from you guys, but I'm also a little bit jealous. I would love to have a CryptoPunk. And I totally agree with what Florian said. I think this is one of the most significant projects that's defining this era.
Thanh, you said you minted your ape, so you were really, really early finding out about this project, but what was actually your first NFT, and how did you find out about the apes and this project?
Yeah, my first NFT was an NBA Top Shot moment. And this collection reminded me on my childhood. As you may know, the stickers when we bought the packages from, I think it was Panini. So some different football players like Lothar Matthäus, Rudi Völler, you bought some packages and then you got a gold one or a silver one, and I was just gluing them into a collectible book. So today I have my digital wallet and I'm collecting my moments there, and an NBA Top Shot moment is something like a video moment of a nice dunk or so of an NBA player. And the crazy thing about this collection was that if you were able to get a legendary moment, people paid like 100K and more. And the highest price one was paying for an NBA Top Shot moment, it was a LeBron James moment, was around $230,000. And that's just insane. And that's how I got into the whole community. On Twitter, I connected with a lot of people. We were discussing moments, which one to buy. And then one of my neighbors told me, hey, bro, there's a new collection, some silly and stupid ape pictures. You should have a look at them because you're crazy and you're FOMOing in every collection. And I was like, okay, I will have a look at it. And then in the night, on my Twitter timeline, there were so many apes, people buying them. And then I thought, okay, just move some Ethereum. And I just bought like 2. But the thing was, in the same night, you were able to get the apes on the secondary market already for half of the price. And so I thought, oh, damn it, I just lost some money. And yeah, then the next day I got up. The floor was already at around 0.2 Ethereum, so I nearly doubled my invest. And then it went up, and it went more up. My friends were calling me, hey, I just invested a lot of money. I did the same at 0.7. And 0.7 at that point was already a lot of money. And yeah, as always, I bought at the top. And then the next 7 or 10 days, it went down to like 0.2 again, and I lost like 75% of my investment. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I think it seems to be mentally really challenging investing in these NFT projects. And would you also say if you consider to buy NFT projects, it's something you really need to spend a lot of time sourcing projects? Would you recommend this to everyone, or is it also kind of like a full-time job?
Yeah, the thing is, doing your own research is always the thing you have to watch at. So for me, when I'm doing my research, so 2021, I was looking at the Discord members, how many do they have? Do I like the artwork? Are people active on Twitter tweets? And then I decided whether I jump in or not. But last year, it was the NFT Summer. There was so much liquidity. I mean, you could nearly buy every collection and you made money. So it changed this year. So this year, I'm, of course, more standing on the sideline and I just buy these collections, which I really like. So from the artwork and, of course, regarding utilities.
Yeah, maybe we can also talk a little bit more about the shift that recently happened, obviously, where the market has changed. A lot of projects have like lots of value. How do you deal with this situation? How does it make you feel? And what is your strategy now when it comes to investing in NFT projects?
So I think what happened is that all the scams got exposed, nearly all the scams. There are still a few which are running quite successfully, but which will be exposed throughout this bear market. As for the investment strategy, actually nothing has changed. And I think I've got a lot of points when I'm looking at an NFT project, but I think the most important point is how does new money enter the system? Because we have a very unique situation with NFT projects right now, because it's the first time where investors are also the customers. And normally, like in my e-commerce company, I can be seen as an investor, but I'm definitely not the customer of my product. And normally you have investors who put money into the company. Then the team extracts money in form of salary. They put money to work in form of product. And the product provides some sort of value for which other customers pay money. And this money gets to be redistributed to the team and to the investors. Right now, we don't have any customers. We just have investors. So it's a closed system which cannot be sustainable, because all the money I put in as an investor is the same money I can get out as an investor. And the only way to make money is when other investors join my project and I can get out because other investors get in. And that for me is like the definition of a Ponzi scheme. So the central question for me is, how does new money enter the system? So when I look at an NFT project, I look for what does this NFT project do to acquire real-world customers, to acquire those people who said they don't own an NFT today, and incentivize them to pay money for some sort of value. It could be a computer game. You have a Clone X. It could be a virtual fashion which somebody just wants to use to flex. But I need to see how new money enters the system in exchange for value being created for the customers. There's maybe one small caveat. it's possible to create value for the investor in a closed system in forms of community or stuff like that. So I can be an investor and a customer if I value the community of the project, and that's all. But community is also most of the time a smokescreen for Ponzinomics.
Roman, maybe you can also tell a little bit more about, you said you're also really into the AR world. Are there any NFT projects focused on this or that also add value in this whole area?
Yeah, definitely. So one of the most prominent examples is actually Artifact. Artifact is one of the companies that pushing augmented reality from the beginning on. So they released digital sneakers. This is how they started with crypto sneakers. This is how they started, and they immediately implemented them into the Snapchat ecosystem so you can try them on. If you have Snapchat or don't have Snapchat, just install it, look for the filters, type Artifact, like the 4 letters, and try on the sneakers. This is quite a new experience, a new example of how you can envision digital, purely digital fashion in the real life environment. And if we look forward in 4 till 5 years, mobile phones will be something that was written in the history books. Most of us will wear kind of an augmented reality device, augmented reality glasses, contact lenses, whatsoever. And then we switch in the next paradigm where digital fashion or digital accessory will become something more than just right now, like a gimmick or a play. And this is why I'm quite bullish on projects that are experimenting with new technology, like Yuga Labs with Metaverse approaches that they pushing, Artifact with digital fashion and AR. And if you understand the technology behind it, it's quite obvious what project will survive the bear market or not.
Vicktoria, is this also something you are investing in or looking for at the Web3 fund?
Yeah, I actually wanted to adapt to that because I really like the example. As you probably know, I'm bullish on Artifact, but the really cool thing about this project is that many people can participate actually. So it's not only I buy a product and then I can use it, but rather I buy the whole asset which contains the IP, kind of, so you cannot use the Nike symbol, obviously, but you can use the whole rendering model and create it by yourself. And this is the first time that a big company is actually jumping into something that is more like co-creation, so many people can participate. I also know that Christiane, the moderator, is one of the Artifact creators because she used the rendering models in order to kind of change her clone, which is quite unique. So for us as investors, it's not only we invest in the product, but also we participate in the creation process of developing new ways for communities to interact with a brand. And this is quite significant.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
So what I think about Artifact is that the digital fashion space, I think it will definitely have its point in time. But I'm not quite sure if the point in time is right now because infrastructure is still missing. Yeah. You see, Roman's CryptoPunk has a VR glasses on it. I'm not sure about you guys, but I never wore a VR glass in my life, just one single time. And I think digital fashion, Metaverse, all those stuff, I think they can just prosper when the infrastructure is already there. Or how do you think about that?
Who? Me? Or him?
I think it's just a matter of time and patience, of course, because when we have a look back at the internet, when everything just developed there in the 90s, everything was difficult. Now everything is so easy, and we can already see that a lot of companies are working on new glasses, making it easier. And I think it won't take much longer, or not that much longer, till we already see a mass adoption. And if we reach that level, then we can talk about all these things. But right now, of course, a lot of experiences are on a desktop in 2D still. But yeah, solutions here at trade shows, you can just use AR classes and more. But yeah, I think it's just a matter of time.
if I can add a little bit to this. So actually, every one of you right now has an augmented reality device in the pocket already that is much more powerful than an augmented reality glass that was developed 4 years ago. Every single Android and iOS mobile phone is a very powerful and capable augmented reality device. And the infrastructure is already also there because we have 5G, we have remote rendering capabilities, we have capabilities that complex 3D data is not longer required to be rendered, processed on the mobile phone, but is processed on the near cloud, and it's only streaming to your phone. So actually the technology is there, the adoption is not yet here because we are not used to it. If we would have this conference in South Korea, it would be a complete different discussion because they're used to use digital assets, digital fashion, augmented reality in a complete different level in a day-by-day life. We're just a little bit behind, but this will definitely come because technology doesn't care about our sentiments, about our feelings. It will be there and we will use it.
Can I also say something? Totally agree with that, but honestly, I also think it's not our generation. I feel, especially when it comes to digital fashion and VR technology, AR technology, it's rather the younger generation that are more adapting to this. I mean, younger kids spend so much money on Fortnite skins, or are more. They would love to spend more money on that. Like I wouldn't pay for something that I cannot physically wear. Only for my clone maybe, because I identify with my clone in the Web3 ecosystem. But other than that, even I feel too old, and I'm not that old. But when I see my younger cousin who spent a lot of money, real money, for Fortnite skins that literally don't make anything, but looks cool on this person, I think it's coming to that point. Of course, the tech is missing, but also I think it's a shift in generation, which is why many companies are having headquarters in Roblox or doing Fortnite concerts whatsoever to reach a younger audience, because this audience is growing up with these brands, and once they're a little bit older and once the tech is a little bit more evolved and we have better Wi-Fi access and everything, these are the new customers of this cultural movement.
Yes, but this younger generation is influence to the older generation with money. So we will be, not we, but maybe our uncles, will be very heavily influenced by the children that are 10 right now, that are used to digital fashion, that are used to digital assets. They will influence the behavior, consumption behavior of their parents. It was always the shift. It was always happening here, generation after generation. So the first adopters of chaos, they are right now like teenagers. They don't have the money, but they have the vision and the willingness to invest in digital assets. But they will, over time, influence the behavior of their parents with money. And this is the shift that's always happening.
But do you think one day we will all have our identity card as an NFT, or is it too complicated also? Because I'm always wondering with the also mass adoption that it's also just right now really complicated to invest in NFTs, and I think a lot of people don't have time or even knowledge to use this technology the right way. What do you think needs to happen so that it will be a thing everybody is using?
Like in the beginning of the 90s, it was very complicated to go online. Like how many in Europe were able to buy something from Amazon in the 90s? Maybe 0.01%. Right now, over 30% of the German population buying on daily basis on Amazon with one click. And in our NFT community, blockchain community, there are a lot of smart girls, boys, and very capable people, because the interconnection between technology, the internet culture, the meme culture, the art, digital art, blockchain, internet, is just very inspiring and crazy. And the people that are building is such a fast speed and fast pace, because the raw blocks and infrastructure is already given. We just need to combine it and make a very neat UX UI out of it for normies and not for tech degens like we are. And this will come sooner than we think, actually, in my opinion.
I mean, this is also the point where I always say to everyone, hey, it's just 1 year since we have NFTs, but we are still early. Everyone training himself about how to handle the NFT world is still early, because I also believe that there will be a lot of more solutions coming up. So right now we are in the bear market, but the bear market is there to build. So there are so many brains out here, so many companies building solutions to make everything easier. I mean, there was just the launch of a new NFT marketplace, and they accept credit cards, right? So of course your wallet is at the marketplace there, but it will be easier within the next years. And mass adoption, I think it will come, because NFTs are not just profile pictures and art. There's so much more behind it. Connecting real utilities. It's a proof of authenticity. And I think maybe also in the future, if you buy a luxury good like a Rolex or a Louis Vuitton bag, then you may have your NFT with it. And this is the proof of authenticity. And maybe to keep it further, maybe also those companies will be able to earn royalties in every secondary sale with physical goods. Let's see.
Do you have some other brand examples about the NFT world that might be relevant to the audience?
So there's one example of an NFT company which I like to present, which I always like to present in talks, and that's in America. There's the Fly Fish Club. That's an NFT restaurant, and the concept is there are a few very, very sophisticated chefs who wanted to create a restaurant. So they issued NFTs, I think 3,000, and sold them on the marketplace. And from those revenues, they started looking for a location of the restaurant somewhere in downtown Manhattan. And right now they're building the restaurant. And once it's finished building somewhere in December, all the NFT holders are the only people who can eat at the restaurant. So now I have one of those NFTs, but I don't live in Manhattan. So it's not very practical for me to visit there often. But what I can do is, for everybody who cannot visit the restaurant right now, they can rent out their NFT on a monthly basis to other people who want to join the restaurant, who want to eat at the restaurant. So for the first time, my club membership in a restaurant, which was normally a liability because I needed to pay once a month as fee, and I hope that the contacts in the restaurant will give me an ideological value which is greater than the monetary value which I purchased. All of that is gone. Now I have the asset of the membership. And if somebody else wants to join or wants to eat at the restaurant, I can just rent it out to that person. So my membership becomes an asset which gives me cash flow. And that's also an example how value comes from outside of the system and not only stays within the system coming from us investors.
So now you're also a shareholder of the company.
Exactly.
Okay.
You could say that. I mean, there needs to be a correct legal framework for me to be really called a shareholder, but I think that's a beautiful example of how to use NFTs to create new experiences. And it's also a win for the restaurant, because the restaurant, whenever I sell my NFT, they get part of the royalties. So if they make an awesome experience, awesome food in the restaurant, the value of the NFT goes up. And when it gets sold, because somebody who is in New York says, well, I don't want to rent it out, I just want to move to New Zealand and I want to be done, they can sell it again for more money and the restaurant gets a small cut of that.
That sounds really like a cool project. Vicktoria, maybe you can also tell us more about, you said it's also a generation topic. You were talking about I recently discovered the Roblox world, and I was so blown away about everything that is happening there. So maybe we can talk more about the digital avatars and why especially teenagers love to be in this world, and let's say the older generation is more scared of this metaverse vision, kind of.
I actually think that even social media is some kind of metaverse, and we have our digital identities and our followers and our likes and everything that we want to present in the social media world. So the metaverse, as we communicate about it, which is I don't know, digital worlds with environments, and you look different and you walk around. It's way more gamified. It's just a potential next step. And with NFTs, you can basically own what you have in this world. So if I have really, really cool Nike shoes, which are really rare in the real world, people are also willing to spend so much money for that. And for me, everything that is tied to this new metaverse thought is the same thing, just digitally. And without NFTs, you just don't own it. You cannot really trade it. Technically, you cannot really interact with that because it's tied to another server, which is from a bigger company. So when I want to be special, and we all want that in some way, I think NFTs are just a new way to have something unique that you really, really own in that world. So maybe it's not my social media profile, but rather the avatar I identify within. I mean, Roblox is not connected to blockchain, so any other metaverse where you own clothes tied to NFTs that you can invest in and you can identify with.
I also recently, I heard a lot about the OtherSide Metaverse from the Aves. Maybe you can also talk more about this vision, and is it also, I think I kind of understand it also as a club that is limited, not everybody can enter, but is this the vision of it, or what can be also a project that, say, everybody can participate in? Are there projects that are easier to become an investor of for everyone?
Yeah, so right now we don't know that much about OtherSide because when talking about Yuga Labs, they know how to hide information. But the thing is, they already opened it up, so you can enter with mutants, you can enter with apes, but also other collections like World of Women, or I think it was Cool Cats and Doodles are able to join this world. And right now we are in a building phase, and of course by talking about Metaverse, it's also about the whole technical, equipment in the back, right? So there was a time last year we had an event on Decentraland. So they built some kind of casino, Yuga Labs casino, and you were able to play some poker. So I was completely crazy about that. So I just went there. So all of my friends came to my place. So we all had our laptops and we joined. But the experience was like, damn, that's not possible. So it was lagging the whole time, and we were like 1,500 people. And this is one thing what Yuga Labs is changing right now. So we already had the first beta test. I think they made 2 right now. And they were already like 4,500 people at the same time in the Metaverse. So we had some gamification aspects in it. So killing a boss and walking from the other side to this side. And it was really crazy. There was a lot of interaction, and they said in Q4 this story is going to continue. So this is why I'm very curious about this whole project, because it's a really nice quality. We actually don't know whether we are able to build something in that metaverse, but we will hopefully soon know.
I know.
You know, I didn't get the access with the SDKs right now, but I hope I will get it soon. And so it's not too late. So also OtherSide, you can buy land. So we have around 100K amount pieces of land right now. They will drop another 100K. And I believe when they drop the second part, the price will decrease a lot. And that could maybe a good chance to jump in.
Unfortunately, we don't have that much time anymore, but maybe each of you can leave one last sentence to the audience on why everyone should own a NFT if they don't have one yet.
I don't think we need to convince them. I think with time, all of them will own an NFT because it's just a better technology for things which we already do. Maybe one very quick example of a company all of you know, it's Starbucks. They changed their loyalty program to an NFT loyalty program, where if you earn reward points, you can now sell them on the marketplace. So for the first time, the loyalty program is not a prison where I'm in, where I can just spend the loyalty points on some bullshit which the company offers me, but I can also decide to sell my loyalty points to somebody else who may value that, and I get the cash. So I think a lot of use cases will be small use cases of traditional companies who provide more value for the customers, as Starbucks does it right now in creating an open loyalty system and not a closed loyalty system, which I think will be beneficial for the customer. And therefore, with time, all of you will have an NFT sooner or later.
Totally agree. I also would not like to convince anyone to buy NFTs, but it's very exciting to buy your first NFT and to be part of something that could define the new internet culture, which is why we are investing into that. And I think we all have a reason to be here, which is mostly digital marketing. So it has something to do with the internet, and we believe that Web3 is like the new internet layer. So whenever you want to buy your first NFT, maybe buy an ETH domain or any kind of domain on any blockchain, because I think this is something that would make most sense to invest in for your first NFT. So I would have also said the same thing as Starbucks, but you had it before me. So it's, maybe buy your first ETH domain if you want to invest in your identity on the blockchain.
I'm very interested in the paradigm shift that NFTs actually allow companies to know their customers, not only in the primary market, but also in the secondary market. If you imagine like watches, Patek Philippe watches that are selling for hundreds of thousands of euros, they don't know their customers in the secondary market. They don't know the people, but they would love to know them. NFT will give companies the knowledge of the customers even in the secondary market, and this is the paradigm shift for me, actually, why it's important.
Yeah, so I would always also say, so sooner or later you all will have your NFTs. For me, NFTs are not just about gains and losses. It's more about the whole community. And look around you. I mean, all of you are interested in Web3 space. And I can tell you there are so many meetups in all over Germany and all over the world. I made so many real life friends through Discords, finding out, hey, he's my neighbor. So we met in real life. And that's also a thing you have to be aware of. It's also about the community being part of this. Yeah, my last words. Thanks.
Thank you so much for adding so much value to this conversation. I hope you learned a lot about NFTs, and that's it. Thank you.